This is for educational use only. Our group grants permission for our instructor Mr. Roldan Ardinas to use this as educational material.
Good day, Marinos! So today, we're going to discuss a very important topic, the Asia and the world. First thing is the Asian regionalism. So what is Asian regionalism? In this presentation, we will explore the meaning of regionalism, how it differs from the globalization, the factors that lead to Asian integration, and how the countries respond to the challenges of both globalization and regionalization.
So the first topic we'll be talking about is localization. So what is localization? Localization is the process of adopting global products, services, or ideas to fit the culture, language, traditions, and needs of a specific local community or country. So a major example for this is the McDonald's Corporation. Like the McDonald's here in the Philippines, as we all know, we like rice. So they innovate rice meals for us. Like in Japan also, they make sakura latte, which means spring in Japan, that are being localized there in their country. Another example is the Netflix in the Philippines. They add Tagalog subtitles or maybe Tagalog movies that are not in other countries. So for the next topic, we'll talk about the difference between regionalization and globalization. So, regionalization in the contemporary world is the process of forming religions or strengthening cooperation among countries within a specific geographic area. It focuses on building closer economic, political, social, and cultural ties within a region rather than on a global scale. So, it often happens when neighboring countries with common interests or shared history decide to work together to achieve collective goals such as trade, security, or cultural change. So a notable example here is like the European Union in Europe and the ASEAN, and here in Asia, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So next, globalization is a process of increasing interconnectedness and interdependence among countries, people, and cultures around the world. It is driven by trade, technology, and communication, and mostly the movement of people and ideas. Through globalization, events, products, and trends are in one part of the world can quickly spread and affect other regions. So notable examples here is the social media platforms like Facebook or TikTok connect people worldwide in real time. Products such as iPhones that are designed in one country, manufactured in another, and sold globally. So the most key difference of the two is that globalization is a worldwide connection and regionalization is just regional cooperation.
So the next topic is Asian regionalism. Asian regionalism is the effort of Asian countries to strengthen their cooperation and unity. It aims to create closer ties in economic, political, social, and cultural aspects. By working together, nations in Asia can address common challenges more effectively. It also promotes mutual understanding and solidarity among diverse cultures and the region. Asia is a vast and diverse continent, yet its nations share common challenges like economic competition, security concerns, and globalization. To address these, countries pursue regionalism, which fosters unity, trust, and stronger global influence. A key aspect is economic integration, as many Asian economies depends on trade, investments, and technologies. Groups like ASEAN promote this through removing trade barriers, creating common markets, and easing labor mobility. With ASEAN Economic Community, also known as AEC, working towards a unified regional market. For example, under ASEAN cooperation, Thailand exports rice and manufactured goods more easily to neighboring countries like Malaysia and Vietnam, while Filipino and Indonesian professionals benefit from agreements that allow skilled workers to find jobs across ASEAN nations. This shows how regionalism supports both trade growth and labor opportunities.
In addition to Asian regionalism exists because countries in Asia face common challenges and share goals that are more effectively solved together rather than individually. It was found to promote not only economic growth but also political stability, cultural exchange, and security within the region. By cooperating, Asian nations can strengthen their bargaining power in global affairs and at the same time protect their shared interests. In other words, Regionalism allows these countries to work as a team, addressing problems collectively and ensuring that they benefit from a unity rather than working alone. Let's move on an example of regionalism. One clear example is the Asian Congress. This is a meeting of representatives from different Southeast Asian nations under the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. The Asian Congress serves as a venue of discussing important regional issues such as economy, politics, culture, and security. Through this Congress, countries are able to collaborate, build stronger relationships, and find solutions to challenges that affect the entire region. This shows how regionalism is applied in real life, not just an idea, but as an active cooperation among nations.
The next topic is regionalism in the Philippines. What is regionalism? Regionalism in the Philippines refers to the strong sense of loyalty, identity, and also pride of the Filipinos towards their own region, province, and ethnic group. This sentiment is deeply rooted for the country's geography and history, with more than 7,000 islands and over 180 languages spoken in the Philippines, naturally, culture, language, and also the tradition. These major islands are three major groups: Luzon, Visayas, and also the Mindanao, and ways of life that shape everyday identity of their people. This regionalism has positive effects. It allows Filipinos to preserve their local heritage, promote their cultural pride, and celebrate diversity, festivals, and also the Sinulog in Cebu. Regionalism also strengthens communities' ties as people feel deep connection to their hometowns and also the provinces.
So the next topic is regionalism and globalization. So what is regionalism? Regionalism is the political, economic, or social process of countries in specific geographic area working together. The goal is to build stronger ties, solve shared problems, and promote commune interests. Regionalism as a neighborhood watch program for countries. It is when countries that are close to each other geographically decide to team up. Why to work together on things they all care about, like trade, security, or even just sharing their culture. The main idea is to build a strong community with a specific area. Example is ASEAN, which stands for Association of Southeast Asian Nations. ASEAN is a group of countries like Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. They work together to boost their economic and make sure the region is stable, peaceful. They have special agreements that makes easier to trade with each other, which benefits the group. It's all about making their own neighborhood built better and stronger. Next is globalization. Globalization is the process of worldwide integration and interdependence. It involves free flow of goods, service, and capital, and people across nation borders. Now, if regionalism is neighborhood watch, then globalization is the internet. It is a process of entire world where become more connected. This has happened through the trade, technology, and communication. Globalization breaks down the walls between countries. It's all about single worldwide system where a company can have its headquarters in countries, its products made in another, and its customers all over the globe. Example is the smartphone you've been probably holding right now. Think about our iPhone. The company is based in the USA, but the parts come from all over the world. Maybe the screen from Korea and the microchip from Taiwan. Then it's all put together in China, and finally it's sold from parts of product to the person. It's a perfect example of globalization in action. It shows how connected the whole world it has become.
So what are the factors to a greater integration of the Asian region? So first, economic cooperation, growth of trade, investment, and free trade agreements among Asian countries strengthens economic ties. So second, political stability and security collaboration on peace, conflict resolution, and regional securities builds trust and unity. So third, cultural and historical links, shared traditions, religions, and values help foster understanding and solidarity. Fourth, geographic proximity, being close to each other makes transportation, trade, and cooperation easier. So fifth, technological and infrastructural development. So better communication, transportation, and digital networks connect countries more efficiently. So sixth, shared challenges, common issues like climate change, natural disaster, poverty, and health crisis encourage collective action. So seventh, regional organizations and institutions, groups like ASEAN, SEARC, ACO, and EDB provide platforms for cooperation and integration. So in short, Asia is becoming more integrated because of shared needs, common goals, and stronger cooperation across politics, economics, cultural, and technology.
So, next context, we're going to analyze how different Asian states confront the challenges of globalization and regionalization. So, Asian countries deal with globalization by opening their economies to trade, technology, and investment, while also protecting local industries and culture. They also strengthen education and worker skills to compete globally. At the same time, regionalization is important because groups like ASEAN in Southeast Asia and the SARC in Southeast Asia helps countries work together like trade, security, and development. So these organizations give nations a stronger voice and allow them to face challenges as one. Overall, Asia balances globalization with regional cooperation to achieve growth and stability.
So the next topic we're going to talk about is the advantages and the disadvantages of regionalism. So first is promotes unity and cooperation among neighboring countries. Regionalism strengthens political and social ties, encouraging countries to work together. Second is the strengthens economic growth through regional trade and investment. By reducing trade barriers, member states benefit from shared markets and investment. Third is gives smaller nations a stronger collective voice in global affairs. So small countries gain more influence when they negotiate as a group. Last is that it helps countries address common problems such as security, disasters, and climate change. Regional cooperation provides faster and stronger responses to crises. And it preserves and promotes cultural identity within the region. So, regionalism highlights shared traditions and heritage, building culture pride. So the next is the disadvantages of regionalism. So the disadvantage of regionalism first is may create inequality if stronger countries dominate weaker ones. Powerful states can influence decisions and exploit weaker economies. For example of this is within NAFTA, now USMCA. The US often gains more economic benefits compared to Mexico. Second is can lead to conflict with national interests, clash with regional goals. So a country domestic priorities may not always align with regional agreements. Third is the risk of prioritizing regional ties over global cooperation. Countries may focus on regional blocs and neglect global issues. Some countries may become too dependent on regional support. Smaller nations might rely heavily on stronger regional partners, reducing self-reliance. And last is the regional division might weaken broader global unity. Competing regional blocs can create rivalries that harm global cooperation. Next is the factors of regionalism. So these are the key elements or reasons that influence countries or regions to unite and cooperate. So this includes geography, shared culture and history, economic interests, political and security needs, and common challenges. Together, these factors explains why nations form stronger ties within a region to achieve growth, peace, and stability. So, regionalism is shaped by several factors that bring countries closer together. Geography plays a big role because nations that are near each other find it easier to cooperate. Shared history and culture also strengthen their connections, while economic interests like trade and investment push them to work as partners. Political and security needs encourage unity, especially in maintaining peace and stability. Common challenges such as poverty, disasters, and climate change also requires countries to act collectively. Finally, regional organizations like ASEAN or ARRC provides a platform for cooperation, helping nations face both regional and global issues together.
New regionalism is a modern approach to regional cooperation that became more common after the Cold War. Unlike old regionalism, which focused mainly on the politics and security, new regionalism covered wider areas such as economy, trade, culture, and environment. It is more open and flexible, allowing regions to cooperate with global institutions and even with other regions. This type of regionalism also encouraged both government and non-government groups to participate the regional cooperation. A defining feature of new regionalism is its comprehensive scope. It includes not only politics and security, but also economic integration, cultural exchanges, environmental protection, education, technology, and social development. For example, ASEAN countries today not only cooperate on trading but also work together on disaster relief, cultural preservation, student exchanges, and even pandemic responses. This shows how cooperation now touches many areas of daily lives.
So, for the last topic, we'll tackle about the impact of regionalization to globalization. So, as we all know, regionalization can both support and limit globalization. On the positive side, it strengthens globalization by preparing countries to work together as a region before engaging with the wider world. Regional trade, arguments, cultural exchange, and political cooperation make countries more competitive globally. So, why is it has a big impact on globalization? Because it can both strengthen and limit it. On the positive side, regionalization helps countries cooperate as a group first, which prepares them to compete and connect better in the global stage. Through regional trade, political cooperation, and cultural exchange, regions become stronger and more united, making globalization easier to manage. But at the same time, if regions focus only on their interests, it can create diversions and weaken globally unity. So overall, regionalization acts like a bridge that links local cooperation to the larger process of globalization, shaping how countries interact within the world.